no agreements. This becomes Iranian protectorate. That becomes an Arabian empire, or not Arabian, Iranian empire, because they're not Arabs, they're Persians. So this becomes like a Muslim part of the world. That's, you can actually take the whole region out to here. It's all Muslim. And what's been happening, and this is part of the weird religious elements here, you've got the Sunni sect and the Shiite sect, which is a bit like the Protestants versus the Catholics. Go back 500 years, and what we're seeing here is like the 100 Years' War that occurred in Europe back in the days when it was Protestant versus Catholic was a serious thing. So we're seeing a religious war being fought here, and the Sunni majority, about 90% of Muslims are Sunni, they have focused on their rivalry with the Shiites. And so what they've done is they've sided with this mob to enable
the United States.
The states to side. So they've sided with the Christians to strengthen their own Muslim sect, which is the Sunni sect, against the Shiite sect, which is Iran is predominantly Shiite. Now, what's happening here is, as soon as the war started, America, the reason the Arabs agreed to bases here, military bases, is they thought it would protect them from Iran. As soon as the war starts, those bases are obliterated, the Americans leave, and they realize that hasn't worked at all. So the deal the Sunnis made to side with the Christians has proved to be an extremely bad deal. You're going to have change in who rules these countries to enable it to happen. But I think the persuasive case coming out of this within the Muslim areas is Muslims stick together, don't cooperate with the Christians.
Don't cooperate with the United States.
And I think that's what's going to happen.
You think that's going to happen?
I hope so, because that at least gives us something which is relatively stable. This becomes a region that is Muslim dominated.
When you're saying this, you mean the Middle East?
I mean, the whole Middle East, Saudi Arabia, Iran, Iraq, Pakistan as well, because it's a Muslim country, Afghanistan. This region becomes Muslim dominated. Shiites and Sunnis start to, I mean, the whole idea of Catholics fighting Protestants, that's completely dissipated. There's no level in the West anymore of large-scale military-type animosity between Catholics and Protestants. That's what's happening over here. The conflicts, those religious conflicts within the Christians disappeared, largely speaking. They're still happening within the Muslim religion. This could persuade them that that's got to end.
So we've got one more scenario, scenario 5.
Iran develops nuclear weapons. I'd rather 4 happen than 5.
Which of these 5 outcomes do you think is most probable to happen?
I think the most likely outcome is Iran disables Israel's nuclear weapons, because Iran has been so prepared for this conflict in a way that America has not, in a way that Israel was not. I hope they're also prepared for the eventuality of having to neutralize Israel's nuclear weapons.
You think the highest probability is Iran disabling Israel's nukes?
Yeah. I hope I'm right. I mean, if Iran gets destroyed, then this leads not to Iran developing nuclear weapons, but every potential rival for America on the planet developing nuclear weapons. We go into a nuclear war-dominated world.
Do you not think it's more likely that Trump is going to find himself a golden bridge to get out of this situation? He's going to call Netanyahu in Israel and say, stand down, please. I'm going to announce that we've won this war. I'm going to announce that we've done a deal. It's all over.
Well, without doubt, whatever happens, Trump is going to say he won. Okay, that's, again, the narcissistic personality disorder thing. He simply couldn't bring himself to stand on a stage and say, I lost. I mean, think about the biggest insult that Trump ever made in his apprenticeship show. You're a loser. Okay, being a loser is the absolute worst possible thing that anybody can be in his mind. If he has to say, I'm a loser, then his life is over in that sense. His self-image is over. So whatever deal comes out, he's going to say he won.
For the average person that's listening now, when they hear all this conflict going on in the world, from an economic perspective, is there anything they can be doing to protect themselves against some of these downstream consequences?
Well, I think one thing is we've now got to the stage where you can buy your own solar systems for your house. You need something which means you're not dependent upon oil anymore. I think we've trivialized the dangers of climate change for the last half century. We've done very little about it to reverse it. This is telling people that if you're reliant upon oil, you've got a fragile existence. Even if it costs you more to build solar, you've got to build solar as your own alternative energy system. Because without energy, there's no civilization. And that's what we're learning the hard way from this conflict. So I think individual responses is going to be get some way to have your own power source. And for most people, that means having solar.
One man that has done a lot for both solar and sustainable energy is Elon Musk.
He has. And he's also helped get bloody Trump elected.